yours? Is it your number? Okay, say it. And here it's your girl, episode 3. Friends got the tea. I'm your host, Francesca White, for Conversations with Fran. And the village is in the building one more time. I'm so happy to be with you tonight. We got a whole lot of ground to cover in a little bit of time, and you always know I'm gonna do it for an hour and then I'm gonna get out of there so you can get back to the rest of your day. How was your day, village? I'll need you to check in those comments. And tonight we are live and direct on Facebook as well as on YouTube. So I hope you're ready. I hope you got something to sip on because we got a lot to talk about today. So village, I need you to get your cups up in the comments. Put those cups up for me. Send up some hearts, send up some love on Facebook so we can get right into this thing. Now on today's show, we're going to be talking about, I know I've been teasing. I know I've been teasing you all so much about the entanglements, but something came through today. Oh boy. Something came through today. I had a good conversation with a good brother out of Houston, Texas, who's going to join me in this conversation. And we're going to push it to August 18th to talk about the entanglements. Not only are we going to talk about entanglements, we're also going to talk about relationship statuses, relationship positions and roles, and what that looks like with how women respond to men and how men respond to women. So we're going to get to that on August 18th. Now, we are going to touch a little bit on entanglements when we get to Greenleaf, because there's a major entanglement that has now caused a separation that is now on its way to a divorce and custody hearings and such. So we're going to deal with it a little bit, but we're not going to deal with the Will and Jada side of it all right? So on today's show, I'm in the building with my good old producer. He's doing what he does best. He's quiet today, and I don't know how long that's gonna last, but we'll see what happens. So let's go ahead. Gray, go ahead and take me to the birthday shout outs. I gotta do my birthday shout outs, and on today's show, we are doing the birthday shout out for the one and the only Pastor Elton Johnson. Give it up one time. I say give it up. There you go. Give it up one time for the birthday man. He turned another year old, and he had a beautiful celebration. And I want you to see his beautiful family. His wife did an amazing social distancing birthday celebration for him. And I'm going to tell you what was so special about this. Not only was she able to provide a meal for her husband, but she invited a couple of families and friends. And guess what, y'all? The meal was done with a personal chef. Oh, my goodness. Can you please show them the food? Everybody knows I'm a foodie. And just looking at the picture, to me, that looked like some good old rack of lamb. Oh, bless his name. I know I'm talking good. Look at that meal. And I didn't put all the other pictures up, for the sake of privacy and the other people that were involved. And I just want to say thank you to Lady Charlotte for allowing me to honor her husband on today. Happy birthday to you, sir. I hope that you live to see many, many more, along with that beautiful family of yours. Their story is one of major triumph and another day around the sun for this brother. Happy birthday to you. All right. Can we clap it up one more time for Pastor EJ? All right. Now we got to get to my Instagram post of the day. The Instagram post of the day. Listen, good people. This thing is funny. It's from Alicia Paget. It says, when you need to slap someone from a safe social distance. Have you seen, remember that little toy? And I used to love that thing. I always got in trouble because I could always catch somebody either on the back of the leg or on the back of the head. I was good for that. But Alicia PJ, she put, when you need to slap someone from a safe social distance. Listen, sis, I've been wanting to slap somebody since the beginning of July. How are you doing? Oh my goodness. People sure know how to push your buttons and get you in situations that make you want to slap them. Oh, and make you want to holler, throw up both my hands. Oh, can I get away with that today? Okay, Grace said I can get away with it. So I got away with it. I know. You know what? I love how this man believes in me. He said, you can sing anything. Come on, boy. You better know I'm gifted. Yes, sir. So that's our social distance. That's our Instagram post of the day. Shout out to you, Sister Alicia, for blessing us with that. People, please keep in mind, anytime I'm on social media, if you give me a good laugh, it is a high possibility that you're going to end up on my Instagram or Facebook post of the day. I don't do Twitter because Trump has made Twitter makes me itch. All right, let's just be honest. So you don't ever have to worry about no birds flying across my screen. Okay. All right. God bless today. Now, we didn't get a chance. Pause before I go to Greenleaf because I know Gray ready for me. But before I go to Greenleaf, I have to give a shout out to my village. Village, are you in the building? I really hope you in the building because I'm about to talk real good about y'all. For those that weren't with us last week, and we had a little bit of, it was a glitch or something in the system. It was a glitch in the system, and whatever happened in the area, it caused our Wi-Fi to pop, right? But let me tell you something. My village did not let the show die. What did they do? They started asking the guests questions while he was yelling, Fran, somebody go find Fran. I ain't never heard my name so many times. And it was so weird to be watching the show happen without me. But I was in good company because the village came on through. So I had to give a shout out to my village for being there and doing what you all do best. Thank you all so much. Okay, now let's go ahead and get to this Greenleaf tea. Help us today. Listen, people, I have been waiting for us to get to this Greenleaf drama. And I have some questions that I want us to answer, some things that I want us to deal with on this here Greenleaf. And the first thing I want to start with is Carissa and Jacob. Now, listen, people. Carissa and Jacob have a serious situation going on. Okay, if you are brand new to the Greenleaf family fan club, if you would, Jacob was a cheater. He was cheating with a woman in the church that was supposed to be his assistant. Then it was he had a little kissing situation with Basie Skank's wife. And then but that was just to put the nail in the coffin with that one. But what really did it was when Carissa decided that she wanted the house. She wanted the property. She wanted to get it done. And it was by any means necessary. But what Carissa didn't know was that the company that she was using as her realtor was another offset of Bob Whitmore's businesses. Okay. Who is Bob Whitmore? Bob Whitmore is the Caucasian gentleman who has a franchise of churches. Okay. And he goes around setting up these churches. But what we have now found, he is real specific about the properties that he chooses. They're always in low income Black residential areas where families are struggling to just keep something that they've worked so hard for. And what he does is he had a lending company. So he would lend them money. And then when they couldn't make the balloon payment, guess who owns the house now? Bob Whitmore. So what we found is that the property that they acquired, Bob Whitmore ended up buying the property that Basie Skanks gave to Jacob and Carissa. Jacob had finally given in. I promise y'all, if you go back and look at that scene, you will understand what it was like with Samson and Delilah. Because she was trying everything she could to get this house. Because she wanted to live a better life. She's a principal. She has her own academy, the Excellence Academy. You know, so Carissa's the Black woman who's trying to evolve and be greater and be more than just the wife of some minister. Okay, because that's honestly how some women feel. They don't want to be, you know, they don't want the first lady title. They want to be their own person. So long story short, the realtor took an interest in Carissa. Carissa ends up sleeping with the realtor 2 times. Jacob, see, you can't pull the wool over a wolf's eye. I'm gonna tell you why. Because if he's good at hunting sheep, he knows when the sheep is lying. And Jacob knew Carissa was lying. He just couldn't put his finger on it, nor did he feel like he deserved to put his finger on it because she had turned the other cheek so many times with his cheating ways. Sidebar, ladies, let this be a lesson. Listen, if the man cheated, then he did all this stuff and drove you crazy, all in the process. The get back is not what Carissa did, because what happened was, Carissa brought back a STD. Ooh, nasty. She brought home a STD. Jacob comes from the restroom into the living room and itching. Jacob comes in itching, talking about something. You got some more of that cranberry juice, the cranberry pills, because he thinks he has a urinary tract infection. And then she has to tell him that she has chlamydia, and he was ready for her to go, not for him, because it was his parents' house. So he was ready for her to go. Then she throws the ball. She says, "I'm not leaving. And I want the will to the house. I want to know who this house goes to when your parents die." Let me tell you something. When she asked that question, everything in me got mad. I got so mad because I can't stand somebody that come into something with nothing. Or you come into somebody else's stuff and you think you about to walk away with something. Sis, let me tell you something. I don't care how mad you are. I would suggest you hold on to all that dignity that you have and go on and walk away and start that thing over again. Why? Because, you punishing him. You're not punishing him. He's still going to be living and doing what he needs to do while you somewhere festering and mad with a blister on your butt. Knock it off. Don't nobody have time for that. So now Carissa decides that she's going after the house. She's trying to get a hold to the will. And long story short, they find out that there is a second will. That the will that they have is actually the second one. So what happened to the first one? It then comes out that there's a possibility that the house was supposed to go to Basie Skank's father. Who is Basie Skank's father? For those that are not up on their Greenleaf stuff, Basie Skank's father was the one that died in the fire years ago, which is why Basie Skanks came back on the scene to make the Greenleafs pay. I want to know, why is my producer about to lose his mind laughing? Oh, the name, yeah, well, and he was a skank too. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But yeah, so all of this stuff, it looks like the house was supposed to go to him. So if the house was supposed to go to him, but then it ends up going to the Greenleafs, there's a whole lot of speculation right now that there's a possibility that Lady May is the daughter of Loretta Davis. And Loretta Davis was a white woman that had never met the Greenleafs until she was on her sick bed. Mac, May's brother, who's now deceased, told James Greenleaf to go see Loretta. Okay. And then this is how all of a sudden they're getting this house. Now, there are a whole lot of other storylines that you could run with, a whole lot of other conspiracy thoughts that you could think of as to why this happened and why that. But can I tell you something? We don't have much more time to figure this out. So Greenleaf family, my village, I need you guys to chime in. Tell me what your thoughts are on all of this, because it is getting crazy. And I promise you, I cannot wait until tonight so that way I can see this show and see what it is that Pastor Greenleaf, he got some secrets that he wants to tell. And I'm up for it. I can't wait to hear what it is. I can't wait to see him break it all down so that we can all understand what's been going on. So I hope you're ready to tune in. So now listen, village, if you want to call in and tell me your perspective, can you please hit that number 424-390-6993. Call in 424-390-6993. I'm checking in with the village. I'm seeing what you all are talking about. Your mouths are hanging open. What's going on? What happened to my dad in real life? Oh, and then the plot thickens. Okay. All right. Well, we might have to discuss that a little bit. And then we got, okay, Shanika, I'm glad you remember that episode. Yes, indeed. So yeah, we definitely have some work to do. Shanika got the right idea. Go back and check all the seasons out so you can catch up. Because I'm going to tell you something. Now, I keep up real good with the Greenleafs, okay? I keep up real good with it. But baby, when Noah popped back up, I had to try to remember, who is this man? He looked familiar, but I could not remember the storyline. Only to find out that Noah and Grace had a son named AJ, and they named him AJ. Now, this is the thing. There was a gentleman, if you go back to the last episode of season 4, there was a gentleman with dreads that kind of resembled AJ. And this man walked up on Faith. No, excuse me. Walked up on Grace while she was at her sister Faith's grave. Now, here's a bit of tea. I didn't know that there was a possibility that Faith had a son as well. And the son is a product of the rape that her uncle Mac, the rape situation between her and Mac, which is what caused her to commit suicide. So once again, we got entanglements, we got molestation and rape, we got hidden children, crouching tiger, hidden children. We got what else is going on? We got folks lying about parentage. Even Lady Mae finally admitted to the whole family. Yeah, finally finally told the whole family that Grace is a product of an affair. That was the other thing. And I'm gonna let this go, y'all. Lady Mae, if you've been paying attention in this season, has been on Jacob's head. Something fierce about not taking Carissa back. But the straw that broke the pastor's back was when she told Jacob in the episode last week, you know what? Your next marriage, make sure you marry somebody you can be faithful to. When that camera panned to Pastor James' face, whoo, it was like that was it. He had enough. He said, you out here being self-righteous and you've been carrying a whole secret for 40 years about Grace not being his daughter. But he knew it wasn't his daughter, but he raised her anyway. Why? Because he loved Mae. Okay, so now Pastor Greenleaf was like, you need to have a come to Jesus meeting yourself and be honest about your own lies. Okay, Sister White is chiming in. They didn't name him AJ. Noah didn't know he was a father. That is correct. Okay, thank you. Clean it up then, Mom. That's what the village is for. That lady love to come through, huh? Okay, let's see what's happening in here. I think it was an angel that walked up to Grace. Oh, that's kind of far-fetched, sis. That's a little far-fetched. But I'm here for it. We're gonna find out eventually because I know they're gonna tie up all these loose ends. You know, this show, once again, the reason I took an interest in Greenleaf was because I was from the start of it, I was very interested as to how were they going to portray the black pastors? How are they going to portray the first family? What pieces to the puzzle were they going to bring out? Were they going to try to drag them? Now, let me be honest with you now. You know, everything is not always peaches and cream. And we've definitely seen that throughout this. And like I said once before, people had issues with, why are they drinking so much? Why are they doing this? Why are they doing that? Well, the thing is, let's just be honest. Most times pastors are called to pastor, and this is what me and one of my friends had a conversation about today. KB, when I was talking to KB, and he's a pastor's son as well. And the interesting thing is, we didn't ask for this. You know, the pastors were called, but the PKs, we didn't ask for this pedestal to be on. And what they really get a chance to see with the Greenleaf children is their progression into adulthood, their maturity levels in how they handle certain situations, the level of trust and mistrust that they have in people, because you never know if people are really there for you or there for the position. I'm talking good. And the reason I say that is because that's what really happens. You have some people, they chase clout. People chase that. The young people, Generation Next or whoever they think they are, really thought they came up with that phrase, chasing clout. People have been chasing clout since before I was walking. Okay, so it's nothing new. It's nothing new. It's exactly what it is. People are attracted to the look of what ministry is because some don't want to be celebrities, but they can be local celebrities. They see the pastor driving nice cars, but all pastors are not completely dependent upon what the church gives them. And I'm not saying it's anything wrong with that, because if you study your Bible, then you know that the Levitical priests in the Old Testament were cared for by the blessings and the gifts and the offerings that were received in the temple. Not gonna go deep, but I'm just letting you know. For those that I was going, and in the past they ain't supposed to close your mouth because you probably don't even tithe anyway. So just knock it off. It's always the ones that don't do they got the most to say. Yeah, drink some water on that one. But we in the village today. We in the village. Put that phone number up for the people. Y'all can call in and talk to us. Y'all let me know how you feel. Let me know what's going on. If you got a perspective on this whole Greenleaf thing, if you got maybe you see it from a different vantage point, hit me real good with it one time, and we can talk about it. That call in number is right there on the screen for you: 424-390-6993. 424-390-6993. Shanika said amen. And not all were called by God. That was in the party line and intercepted. Ooh, message. I told you my village don't play. They come through with the commentary and they will let you know exactly how they feel about the situation. So that is your spilled tea on Greenleaf. We are looking forward to what's going to happen tonight. I hope you are up to date and you will still have enough time when you get off of this live to go check out the last episode, because more than likely it's airing right now on OWN, or if you DVR like I do, all you got to do is just run it back one time. So you go ahead and get it together and make sure you are ready for the conversation. Call in number 424-390-6993. Moving right along. So now, the moment that a lot of us have been waiting for, the family and friends circle. Now, listen, people, listen to me good. I took my time with this whole concept of wanting to even talk about the family and friends gifting. And the reason I took my time about wanting to talk about the family and friends gifting is because I did not want to make it seem as though I'm only telling the story from one side of the perspective. So we're going to start it at the beginning and then we're going to roll it all the way to the end. Okay. And we got some visuals for you, so maybe you can follow along. Okay. So now, the first thing up you see is the gifting circle. That's what's up on my screen, right? Okay. So now let's understand what this is, and we can leave this one up for a minute, Gray. Now, this gifting circle is based off of a concept called the Susu Flower. Okay. Now, up until recent, now the whole purpose of the Susu Flower, it was a means of savings. It was a means of saving money. If someone came up on a hard time, or if they were going to be in a stressful situation for a period of time, and it was something that happened collectively as a family, what they would do, they would take $100 or take 50 or take 20, and they all put their money in, and then they all pick and they go around in a circle with giving to that person. And so then when you give and you put in to the person who's receiving first, then they're supposed to give again. And so that way the circle keeps going with the people that are already included. Hear me clearly. It happens with the people that are already in the circle from the first giving. It does not expand out. If it expands out, then because another family member has been added, then of course it lengthens the time for it to go around. But there is a commitment that they are going to give to that circle, because that's the commitment that they all help each other out. That's the idea of the Susu Flower. Okay. Now, the family gifting circle. The family and friends gifting community that has now been circulating, and we are now approaching the third wave of it for 2020. What do you mean? Okay, so they started this particular version of it. Some have called a pyramid scheme. Okay. And I'm going to explain to you in a minute why they have referred to it as a pyramid scheme. All right. Now, the thing is, with the way that it's being done right now, back in 2019, Australia, Ireland, Nigeria, I want to say Scotland, and there are a couple of other places. There are several articles, several interviews with people, that you can look up for yourself, where you will see that it kind of got on the radar as a pyramid scheme because of the method that they were using. Okay. What makes the gifting circle different, and the way that they're doing it now, is the terminology that they use when it comes to the gifting. So most church people are familiar with the phrase sowing and reaping. Not only are they familiar with the phrase sowing and reaping, but they're also used to the word harvest. When we hear sowing, reaping, and harvest and all these great things, it is an understanding that the seed you are sowing sometimes might be sacrificial, but anything given to God, it never falls on fallow ground. So that means that you're gonna receive a harvest from it. Okay, that's the understanding that church people or anyone who understands religious traditions in a church, they know the idea of sowing and reaping. Okay, now with the family and friends gifting, you are obligated that after you give, you have to bring in two people with you. Okay, you're supposed to bring two people in with you that are going to give as well. And then after they give, then those two people that you brought in have to bring in more people. So now, great, go ahead and go to the big one for me, so that way everybody can understand what it is that we got going. The one that says complete fractal with 15 people, the one that just keeps expanding out. Okay. All right. So now, the one that's on the screen now, why am I putting this up? Because now you're going to understand why some have become extremely tired of the family and gifting process. One of the major issues that you are going to run into when you receive your first message about the family and friends gifting is you are told that if it's the 100 to 800 one, what am I talking about, Fran? What do you mean? You put in $100 into that first circle where you're in the pink. Let's look at the big one with the 15 people. All right. That's where it starts, the one all the way to the left. Okay. When you give your first 100, you're giving in the pink. Your name will go in the pink, and you're giving to the person who is in the middle where the water is. Okay. So basically the idea is you're giving and you're watering them. You're blessing the person in the middle. Okay. So if you notice, it's 8 slots. So now when 8 people give $100, the person in the middle, just like that, got $800. All right. So then when that person gets their 800, now that flower is gonna split in the middle. Okay. So now this flower, now it's not just 8 people involved. It's splitting to 16. And the thing is, it's gonna keep splitting the more you keep adding people. That first message, and I started to post it so you would be able to see what it looks like, so you'll understand. You're told that you will get $800 in 2 days, guaranteed. Okay. And that you're just going to keep sowing, and you keep sowing, and it's an investment, and it's going to keep turning around. Now, the first time I heard this, I immediately started planning out the rest of my summer. Because I'm looking at, well, if I'm gonna get 800 in 2 days, that means I'm gonna have 2,400 in 4 days, and then I'm gonna have 3,200 by next week. And then with my 3,200, I'm gonna jump in a bigger flower, where I can give 500, and I'm gonna get 4,000. And then from the 4,000 one, I'm gonna put in 1,500, and then I'm gonna put in, what is it? I'm gonna put in 1,100. I'm gonna put in 1,100, and I'm gonna get 11,000 in 21 days. That's not how, okay. So Now, what I've been told is that the bigger rooms operate a little bit better, but there is a problem with integrity. Now, this is going to dig in, okay? So now you see, is my flower still up for me? Okay, cool. So now when you look at this big flower and you see how many people are getting added to it, I need you to understand, by the time it comes all the way back around to you, most of these rooms that you're in, these group chats that you're in for this flower, by the time it comes around to you, nobody's giving anymore. Why aren't they giving anymore, Fran? Because they keep seeing the same names end up in the water before them, and they gave, and you don't realize it until you're, watch this, out of $500 and $600. Now that's not my story, and that ain't my song, because I don't want to say I ain't stupid, because I'm not calling anybody stupid, but I am heightening your awareness so that you won't be stupid. So now what scripture goes with that? Oh, I would not have you be ignorant. Boom, there you go. So this is the whole idea. I want you to know what you're walking into, okay? Because it sounds amazing, but let me tell you what I've seen. I've seen people give their last $100 because they're believing that I'm going to sow this seed and I'm going to be a blessing to somebody. And then in 2 days, I'm going to have my 800. Guess what? I know people that have given over $1,000 and they still have not been in the water one time. That's $1,000 that you could have went and bought your kid a new laptop for back to school, since he won't need many clothes. There are other things that you could have done during this pandemic. I mean, toilet paper. You understand? Since that's such a big deal. Paper towels, Lord Jesus. So many other things you can do with your money. And I didn't want to see anybody fall into this category. Now I kind of handled mine a different way. And I'm not gonna I'm here now. So let's go. Let me tell you, this is what I did. I didn't use my money. So it was no, it really wasn't a loss for me. Okay. Because I was trying to figure out how was this working. And if I have to bring other people in, and I was looking at church people in this stuff or whatever, and they really some didn't know what they were into, and some do know what they're into. And that's up to them to decide how they want to handle it. I'm gonna tell you how I decided to categorize the family gifting. You know how people go on turnaround trips to casinos and they gamble? They just don't tell nobody that they went. Some tell it, but majority of church folks that go, they really don't talk about it. And they don't they don't talk about it. One, because they don't want nobody asking them for money. That's one. But there were some conversations. I'm looking at some people commenting in here. I just learned about the family and gifting. T, you would have heard about it a little bit sooner. Remember that conversation I was gonna have with you and Cree? That's what it was about. But then once I started seeing certain things, I'm not dragging anybody into anything that I'm not sure of what it is. Because if I bring you in, then I feel like I'm responsible for at least your first, $100. If you decided to get in, I feel like I need to, refund that back to you if you don't get what you're supposed to get. Now, anything you do past that don't have nothing to do with me. That's between you, your bank account, and Jesus. All right. Now, this was the problem I had with the terminology, the vernacular, and how swiftly it began to change when the room started getting bigger, when more people started being added to these flowers, and then people weren't getting paid. Then it was put some money in, sow a seed. You need to give. And I'm like, I just want to know, we're using all this church vernacular, and these are the same people that when it's offering time in church, they get up and walk out. Hello. So I'm wondering, how many of you are actually this excited about giving in church? I'm going to tell you the truth about it. A lot of them are not. But the thing is, you feel like you're going to get a guarantee out of this because you've been told you put in 100, you're going to get 800 in 2 days. Now some might get theirs in 2 days based on who the administrator is, because if that administrator feels that you're going to keep putting money in, then they're going to put your name in the water. You also need to know that there is bribery that happens. because if I throw you some money, you'll put me in the water a little bit faster. I'm gonna need some water on that one. Because and the thing is, and it's not like it's just happening with the people that you know. It's in any of these rooms, because I'm gonna tell you what made me talk about this. When I saw one thing that they don't know is some of the people that are brand new to getting on that particular chat, anybody in your contact list is going to know that you're on, because your name is going to come up in their message and it's going to say this person has now been added. So what I did, I sent a message to a good friend of mine, and I said, be careful on those flowers. She was so shocked. She didn't know where it came from. She didn't know how I knew that she was doing it, But my thing was, when I started seeing people getting real frustrated, they were losing money. Not only were they losing money, but then folks started asking for refunds. When has God ever gave you something and turned around and asked for when has God ever given you something? And I just lost my producer, y'all. And then asked for a refund. That's not God. That's what I'm saying. How do y'all put God in this? God, the gifts of God come with no repentance. That's Romans 11:29. So I don't understand. Y'all go putting y'all try to drip Jesus on everything, like he's some hot sauce on a piece of church's chicken. If you don't knock it off, it's about as much church in church's chicken that's in these doggone chat rooms, and y'all trying to get some money. There is no free money, okay, people? Give to your church and watch what the Lord does for you. This stuff ain't Bible. Y'all just trying to drop the Bible on it. Knock it off. If y'all don't, I've been trying so hard lately to just I wish I could turn the camera around so y'all can see my producer. He has left the building. Okay. I'm sorry, y'all, but I had to share this, people, because no, it's and some really believe, some really believe in the sowing in the sowing and reaping. And they believe that this is, really what it, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people have been blessed from it, but you got to decide what's for you and what's not for you. And at some point you have to determine, I'm going to walk in integrity and I'm going to back away from this thing. And I mean, trust me, there are plenty of churches that use turnaround money to fund a lot of things. And no, and it doesn't make it okay. And then some people try to say, well, what the Bible say, the wealth of the wicked is laid up in store for the righteous. Man, if y'all don't, once again, here y'all go pouring Jesus on everything. Knock it off. You like to gamble. Tell the truth. Okay. And that's the thing. It's really a gamble, because you might get your payout and you might not, depending on the system and depending on who you're working with. So, you have to be careful. And I know that there are a lot of people that really, it just sounds good. And I'm going to tell you something. And they trust the people that are inviting them. But they don't know. They don't know what they're up against. Okay. So I need you all to be a little bit more careful in your decisions of how to make some money. Okay. Because I've heard it all. Really, I have. The Lord has been blessing me. I doubled my income. And child, I thought I was going to double my income too. But until I found out I was going to have to get a little shady with my life in order to get it done, I'm good. It's going to come back around. And you know what? When I really stopped and thought about it, all my needs have been met. God has not missed a beat in my life. Okay. And all is well. Okay. All is well. Now I want to make sure, is that the same as crowdfunding? That is an awesome question. That's an awesome question. Village, can y'all help Shanika out with that one? Is that the same as crowdfunding? And then Miss Gibson, I got a text from a close friend. I asked her about it. No response. I had to Google the wording of the text to see what it was. Shady energy. No, ma'am. Exactly. Glenda just said my producer is back. You heard the hand clapping. He's back in the building. Okay. All right. So no, you're absolutely right. Okay, Melissa, I'm reading yours. I'm glad you explaining this. Someone invited me, but I didn't join, and they didn't explain it like you. Yes. Yes, ma'am. And that's my problem with it, the transparency of it all. And that's what made me so mad, because when the idea was brought to me, and everything said it's a guarantee and it's this, that, and the other. But then when the room start filling up with over 200 and 300 people, sometimes 500 people, you already saw how big that flower can get and how many times it's going to split and double. Each flower is going to double to 16 people by the time it gets done. So it's very, very fast. It's very, very easy for it to balloon, and then you don't get your money. And then all of these people who did not know what they were getting into, hold your face together, producer. Then they start hitting you in the Cash App asking for refunds. Now, this is the thing. And this is another reason why I pulled back from it. Because let me tell you something. I do kind of call myself a conspiracy theorist sometimes. I pay attention because I'm observant. That's one thing. And so there are certain things, after a while, I'm gonna pick up on it and then I'm gonna back away. Okay. This is the thing. After you start getting every app that's like Vimeo or Cash App or something like that, they have a tap out. Okay. For some, it may tap you out at 17,000 a week of transactions. Now with Cash App, you can receive as much as you want, but your payouts and your cash outs and and what you send out, once you reach your limit, then you can't do it anymore. And then on top of that, they're also going to tell you not to put anything in the memo. Why are they telling you not to put anything in the memo? They're telling you not to put anything in the memo so that Cash App won't flag it. And because, once again, this whole gifting thing has been on the radar. They started talking about it again in 2019, but people really didn't know. Not only that, and this is what made me mad at myself. Normally, I research everything before I do anything. But once again, how they're getting people involved is on the level of trust you have with the person who's asking you. So think about it like this. It's the same as when you get those random DM messages from somebody in Lagos, Nigeria or Ibu, and all of a sudden they want to be your best friend. And then they want to ask you questions like, do you want to make, if you give me $100, I can flip it? Well, the reason they're telling you if you give me $100, I can flip it is because they're going to play your money, win it, and they're not going to give you all of what they're winning. They tell you in a certain amount of days I can make. It's the same thing. It's been going on, and people have been going to jail for it. So how soon you want to be behind bars? Ask yourself that question. All right. So now, thank you, WeAreLA. Crowdfunding harnesses the power of social networks and the internet to give people the means to raise funds, help others overcome hardship, and meet aspirational goals with crowdfunding. It's a little bit different than crowdfunding, if that be the case. Okay. Because what's happening is these are people that are giving to one person in the middle. There's no track record. The admins are not responsible for it. So you can't run it down. And all a person can do is go through their Cash App and look at who they gave to and then refund. And so you just came up on $800, right? That you done already went and bought a chain from the Inglewood swap meet. You went and bought your third boo, not the baby mama, but the third boo. I said it right. You done went and bought your third boo some bundles, because so you ain't got $800 no more. You ain't got time for no refunds. And then if you decline it, because what it says is what it wasn't as advertised. The product wasn't as advertised. So basically, you told me that I was gonna get this and I didn't get it. So now I'm reporting it as fraud. And so it's easy for them to track it. It's real easy. All they got to do is look at the Cash App. All of a sudden, you got $800. Then you got a break in between, and then you got another $800. So either way, it's still listen. A digital footprint is harder to erase than writing something on a piece of paper and having a lighter. Catch that in the morning. Some of my favorite movies and TV shows, Dynasty. Now I understand why everybody had a fireplace. Now I understand why some people always move to the Midwest or down south where they burn their trash. Oh, okay, you'll catch that later. Anywho, I'm not here to advocate for negative behavior, but I'm glad my people are with me. I'm glad. Yes, I said third boo. Yes, I did. Cause you'd be surprised what's going on out here. These brothers think they some Rolling Stones in the place to be. All sisters rise up. Don't try to clap over me when I'm. Have your moment, producer. Have your moment. I'm gonna drink water. As Dwayne Johnson would say, some delicious water. Now, here's the thing. And then I'm going to leave this whole family gifted thing alone. This is how I knew it was something wrong with it. Because on my job, we had a pool. Okay? We had a pool and we would put money in every paycheck. Every twice a month, we would get paid and we would put in. We signed an agreement that this is what we were going to do from the beginning of the school year to the end of the school year. And everybody had a payout date. And I always picked the one that was closest to my birthday. So I'd have my paycheck and I'd have my payout. And my birthday is around tax time, because if I turn my taxes in at the top of January, I had my stuff by February. I'm speaking your language, producer. Don't trip. I'm just saying. So I'm glad I got the hood taxman in the building. So we can get it done. But I'm telling you the truth. So the thing is, I always had a nice little lump sum around my birthday because I'd already done it. So it was a commitment. It was a guarantee. Do you see the difference with the family gifting and being a part of something where everyone has agreed this is how we're going to help each other, put an extra $2,000 to $3,000 in your pocket at any particular time of the year. And of course, the first dates to always go were always December. Those were always the first dates gone. And then some got smart and would grab up November so they could get all of the Christmas shopping for the kids done. They would just use the pool money for that, but that was helping each other. And you're seeing people every week, they know you got paid, so you got the money. That wasn't a problem. So, that's what that is. Yeah, man, look at that. The hood man, tax man showed up. I love when people drop off in my comments real fast and just show up on the scene. Scared me sometimes. Yes, thank you, Sister Pigeon. It's a pyramid. That's all it is to it. But the pool that we're doing, that my job would do, it was locked. Whoever we started with at the beginning, that was it. It was nobody else coming into it. We knew exactly what was happening, all of that. Okay, but with the family and friends gifting, there is no guarantee that you're going to get anything. And it's people still waiting on money. And I could not handle seeing people that I know messed up like that, and because some of the people will kill you over their money, especially when they give their last. They will go in on you. Do you really want that on your head? Do you really want that in the back of your mind, that this person just lost everything because they followed you into something? And when you walk off with your $11,000 licking your fingers and your corona, then what? No, that's not cool. That's not cool. I will not have you ignorant. You can get mad at me if I told your secrets. So I'm in it too. Because I was waiting on somebody to have something to say. But the fact is, you guys have to know that this stuff is out here. Don't get caught up. If that's what you choose to do, fine. That's what you choose to do. And I can still be cool with you and let you do you. Flat out. It's really that simple. So that's my spiel on family and friends gifting. That's my spiel on the Greenleaf show. It is 7:24 and we are bringing this thing right on in. We're coming on home. I'm looking at my comments section. I'm glad that someone who has been involved is explaining it. It's good to get a different perspective and experience. Well, that's cool too. But the fact of the matter is there are some, everyone's experience is different. Because like I said, you could talk to someone like, oh, it's the best thing moving. It's just those $100 rooms that get shady, with the admins. But the 500 rooms and this, okay, that's fine. That's cool. Do you, boo? Have it. Have it all. But that ain't the headache that I need on my life. Sorry. Okay. Once again, the digital footprint is hard to erase. Okay. Keep that in mind. Sometimes people don't think further down the road. They don't think about those things. And at this age, who really has time? Who really has time to be going through these types of issues? Okay, there are too many amazing ways to make money, which is why I choose to focus on supporting Black businesses, people that are trying to generate wealth for their families by teaching their children a trade, not just handing them $100. Okay. What do I mean? In my family, we learned how to play instruments. When I took an interest in hair, my grandmother went, and when Kazuri used to be in Compton. Now, my real hairstylist out there, my old school from the 99 going into 2000, the 99 going into 2000 hairstylist. You remember when Kazuri, the curling irons and flat irons and pressing combs was over in Compton. They had a big factory. My grandmother took me over there and bought me a whole set before I turned 16. And since that was something I was interested in, because my family believes in you got to be able to do something with your hands, do something, be able to do something, have a skill. I mean, you can go to school and get an education, but there are some things that are just in you. And so if I had to try to pull some wisdom out of any of what I've said, what are you instilling in your children? Not only that, what other things are you aspiring to do? There's so much out there, so I know we all could use an extra easy money. Some extra money. We all could. We could all use an extra $2,000 a month. I guarantee you there are people who know how to put you in position to teach you how to do certain things so that you can. All right. Don't get ahead of yourself. Trust God all the way. Don't get fooled by people who talk like they know. There's a whole lot of people that talk like they know Jesus, but they still gonna see him from a back row. Okay, you keep that in mind. All right. Yes, your gifts will make room for you. The Johnson said, "Death to the $100 rooms." Listen, hey Johnsons, thank you. Tell the truth, shame the devil. Death to the $100 rooms. But no, I really want you guys to consider supporting your Black business. Consider starting a business. And that's why I started off with Carolyn Mitchell. What was it? Crissette Sweets and Treats. The reason I started with her was because I've seen what she's doing with her family. I see how she's instilling certain things in her daughters where they're becoming their own entrepreneurs while they're still pursuing their educations with paying jobs and benefits. Okay. That's why I started with her, because I saw what she was doing. I saw what, and that's not, and get this part, the Sweets and Treats, Gray, that's not even her. That's not the only business she has. She also does home health care, and she sends individuals out. Like, listen, I'm sorry. And I feel like sometimes you got to give people their flowers while they can, while they can see them, smell them and all of that, Carolyn, you a boss, okay? And you've been a boss for a long time. And not only that, but you have raised two beautiful daughters on your own, you know what I'm saying, with the support of a family and a village. Now, that's that, and I thank God for that. And I think it's amazing. And I think that's something that we all need. That's why I call my people that are on with me, I call them my village. And I call them my village because I'm not who I am by myself. I'm not confident in this thing by myself, because wherever I go, I'm going to take God with me anyway. And no matter how many jokes I crack, y'all already saw within an hour, I done talked about Jesus and quoted a couple of scriptures a few times. And I'm not saying that my show is not about that. It's a conversation. And when you have a conversation with me, you're going to get a little bit of everything. You're going to get the comedy. I might sing something or whatever. And I haven't sung in a couple of shows, but don't trip, that's coming too. And that's what I'm gonna leave you with, because I'm at 7:29 and I want to get out of here. Let me tell you what's going on. This is what's coming up next. All right, on the 18th, I am gonna be on next week, and I'm gonna let you know what that show is gonna be about. But I want to tell you about the 18th. On August the 18th, we're gonna be talking about entanglements, and I got a good brother that's gonna be on with me from Houston, Texas. His name is KB Strouder. We had a wonderful conversation over the last couple of days, And when I tell you, we are going to hit on some topics that are going to make your mind spin. And I'm so glad that, I mean, without even a question, he was on whatever I wanted. He was gonna make it happen. And so I thank God in this season of life, I am surrounded, watch this, by good men who want to make things happen, by good men that see something in a good woman who's trying to do something for her people. So I want y'all to hang in there with me. Village, y'all keep it strong, y'all keep it loud, and y'all talk back to me. And I'm gonna see you guys in a couple of weeks. The last thing I'm gonna leave you with is September 1st. We got a concert coming, an outdoor concert. And man, I got some real good details. We're gonna feed some kids because a lot of children are not, getting meals and stuff like that on a regular basis. But I want to make sure that they get a sack lunch or something on this day, with some treats and some other things. And so I'll be looking for some vendors. I'll be looking for some people that are looking for some tax write-offs. I got a couple of LLCs involved so we can make that thing happen. I promise you, if I'm going, I'm taking everybody with me. But next time, you're gonna have to meet me here next week, Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. Conversations with Fran. I'm out of here. And make sure you like, subscribe, and share. It's all about WeAreLA. You know, my producer, he was going to run back to make sure I get that one out. But don't y'all forget, WeAreLA. All right, come through with the entanglements. Yes, it's coming. Fran Pinkett Smith. You funny, Shanika. You real funny. It's Francesca White. That's the only white I like. There you go. So now, but make sure you go like, subscribe, and share. And I'm always forever grateful to Brother Anthony Gray for making WeAreLA happen. We are LA, and we're gonna talk about all things LA. But I'm gonna see you next week on Conversation with Friends, 6:30 p.m. I holla.